anything in this world, anything this world has to offer. And I'm delighted to be here today to celebrate 74 years that God has graciously given us here at Berean Baptist Church. Aren't you glad to have this? I got to know him better. I am just in awe of this man. He is, in my opinion, one of the most, probably the most godly, sincere, loving, and very humble men that I've ever met. And he has been a part of this church really since its beginning. That's right. 74 years ago. And his name is Ralph Hudnall. So Ralph is here. As Brother Ralph comes up here, we're going to just honor him today with a special tribute. We thought a lot about how we would do this today, and there's a lot of different options for how we could do it, but we have just something very special for him. I've had Brother Tony, who many of you know is Brother Ralph's partner in crime for many years here at this church. Brother Tony has lined up some folks that have been around Brother Ralph for a lot longer than I have, who are going to just share some testimonies this morning about Brother Ralph and what he has meant to them. And then at the end of that, we're going to present something to Brother Ralph. And so the first person that's going to come is Miss Nancy Sims. If you would come on up. And Miss Nancy's going to share a word of testimony for this morning.
I've known Brother Ralph for 65 plus years. Brother Ralph is Berean. He is synonymous with Berean. He and Dot started this church. They were charter members of this church back when he met in the school. Brother Inslinger was the pastor then. His oldest son, Ronnie, who's here today, was the first baby born in the church. And I grew up with his children in this church. And I watched with admiration and respect for this man of God throughout the years. A few years after our family joined Berean, which was in the mid-40s, Ralph became a full-time staff member at the church. My mom was the secretary, and so in the summertime when I was out of school, I'd come to work with my mother a lot. And again, I watched him be a spiritual leader in this church, and not only in this church, but in his home. He was tremendously loyal to Brother Ford, and was Brother Ford's right-hand man. If it had not been for Ralph, I don't know what Brother Ford would have done. Our church grew exceedingly fast. It was a very small church, and by the late 50s, we were running 800 to 1,000 in Sunday school and had a membership of almost 2,000. And I think on Sunday mornings, Brother Ralph spoke to at least 800 of the people that were there. He was very loyal to Brother Ford, but he's been loyal to every minister of this church, not just Brother Ford.
That's right.
He's lifted him up in prayer. He has faithfully served. He has encouraged them. And he has continued to set a wonderful example for us. As a young person, I cannot tell you when I was young what that example meant to me, and as an older person what this example has still meant to me. Brother Ralph's a prayer warrior, and I don't know of anybody I would rather ask to pray for me than for Brother Ralph. Through the years, he's carried many burdens of this church on his shoulder, and yet he always looked to the Lord. He always taught us by example to pray, wait on the Lord to take care of our circumstances. And he set that example to us all through these years. And Brother Ralph's body's grown a little frail, and his memory may not be as strong as it used to be. But his heart has not changed.
Right.
I can guarantee he still serves the Lord and loves the Lord with his heart as strong as he ever did. I'm so grateful for the rich heritage that I had in this church, and so grateful for the heritage that you were a part of, Brother Ralph. You're my hero, and I love you.
Yeah.
This guy's been my buddy for 40 years. And a friend, our family, when we joined the church in 72 and got saved here, I had a lot of questions. At that time, I was a firefighter. And those of you that know anything about the fire department know, and Robbie can tell you this, you see some crew and stuff, and there's some crew guys that work in the fire station. And I go to Ralph, and I told him, I said, man, I don't understand this. I said, I'll read this. I think I understand it. The next time I hear somebody teach it, I'll find out something else. And he told me, he said, God's word never changes.
That's right.
He said, you're just getting a little smarter. I said, I don't know about that. But he helped us through the times when Mike was, and some of you will remember this, when he was 5 years old, he was in a wheelchair. They told us he had bilateral leg sclerosis disease, that he would be in a wheelchair 5, 6 years. In 6 months, we gave him the doctor says, I don't know what y'all are doing, but we can take him out of the wheelchair. And we told him, and we were really fortunate, this guy was a good Christian. And we told him, we said, we have lots of people praying for us and praying for Michael. Mr. Harris do this. Michael went on crutches probably a year. His mother, we might as well say not to Michael. They became this way. And they helped us through that. I mean, it was a trying time in our life. Don't ever pray for patience.
There's a picture, there's a picture. Take the picture, take the picture. Hold on.
Last fall, Brother Bill hosted a small group in his home. And I got to, in the 9 years I've been here, I've never had an opportunity like this to meet with these incredible people. And I was amazed at how many people in the group were won to Christ by Brother Ralph Hudnall. And Brother Bill's story is definitely intertwined with Brother Ralph, and so he's going to come and share part of his testimony.
Well, this man sitting right here has been a great influence in my own life. There are kind words that he had for me through the years to keep me straight, keep me thinking about the Lord and His instruction in the years we had together. And I didn't know this man until 1955. Jill and I joined this church. But he had an influence on my life ever since. And he's been my friend. He's my brother. He's my mentor. Above all, he's my hero. I love you, Brother Bill. God bless you.
Y'all pray, Brother Tony's coming up to speak.
I don't know why I have to be last. Every time I'm going to do anything, whatever I'm going to do, I'm always last. Nancy Sim, she stole a lot of my thunder. She's not as old as I am, but she's been around longer than I have. Brother Bill, he stole a lot of my thunder, so I don't have much to say to him. I can say one little thing about this man of God.
Picture.